Well, hi guys, my name's Paul, this is Plan Zed, hopefully it finds you very well. I'm just in the middle of doing some housekeeping while I'm building a new template, which I'm going to be putting all of the amps into over the next few months, and I thought I'll record the process of what I'm doing. So what I've done, excuse me, is I've turned all the blocks off. It's going to be one of those sessions, and I've got my sub outs and my main outs unlinked in a divide here, and I just want to level them. So what I've got is I've got the main out knob that's on the front of the unit at 12 o'clock, and let's go to the main outs. We're on the telly. Okay, so this is just the dry signal. Let's go to the sub outs. To me, the sub out feels ever so slightly hotter, but that could just be a fraction on the front knob there. That feels the same. Now what I'm going to show you is this. If we go into the actually we can do that here, can't we? If we go into the block, we could look at the output select where I'm set on both of these to line phones. With the EQ, nothing is happening except for a cut to 12.5. I put acoustics and bass through here, so I don't have my high cut so low. I'll do the low cuts in a patch with guitar amps, with all of them. But the other thing I want to show you is the main out with the output level. Here we're on +4 dBu, so line level. And on the sub out, to achieve that same level, we're +4 dBu, but I've had to pull it down to 30. Okay, when it comes as stock standard, it's at 50. So I've leveled my main with my sub, and I know whatever I put through, they're the same level. Does that make sense? So I'm using my GT1000 as a divider in itself. That to me does feel slightly fuller there. But it could just be the difference between XLR output and the TRS output that we've got for the main out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my sub outs for my guitar amps. So let's put this after my cabinets. Now my cabinets, I'm going to turn them on in a minute. They're 2 notes cab M. I'm going to explain what's going on in just a second. Let's get these main outs out of the way. Let's get them down here. Now this is going to be my wet channel. I think I'll use my mains for my wets now. Now I've kind of made that decision that I kind of prefer how the sub outs is as an output. I might change my mind on that, but it's very easy to swap things around. And what I'm doing is I'm using the delay block 4 as a kill switch. So, for example, we can't now hear the main outs. We can only hear the sub outs, and we can only hear one of the sub outs because I've only got this divide. Let's put it on dual. Okay, so there's my stereo outputs. Now I've got a reverb down here with a compressor, and when I turn that delay, the signal will pass through here now and gives me a wet dry. I've got the effect set totally wet. Okay, but here this output is sending out the subs, and then yeah, the direct of that comes into here, and I kill it with a delay block. So there we're dry. This divide here is just a spare divide for me to use. Now, we've got cabinets here, So let's just turn those on. This is my 2 notes cab amp. Let's just get a level. That's freaking loud. Bear me a second. Yeah, no, it's actually the input I need to change. Give me a second. Actually, maybe I don't want to turn the cabinets on yet. Maybe I need to get the amp on yet. Is it better to do it that way around? Ooh, let's get the amps on. Going to leave that at 50 for the moment. Now when I engage my 2 notes, I'm going to be watching my levels there. Now you can't see that there at the moment, but I'm just going to make a couple of quick adjustments. We're actually sending out instrument level, so I've got that turned up to instrument level on my 2 notes. I'm just going to turn that back a bit, put it to line level. So at line level, that feels quite quiet, but I need to just turn the amp up. Right, so we're in a twin at the moment. We're in a low gain. Got the mids at 70, bass and treble at 50. No presence. There wouldn't be a presence switch on a twin. Haven't got the bright on either. Okay, so I'm feeling like that's a better level. Let's just check that. And I feel like that's a better level. So I'm just going to set that level before I turn on my EQs. Okay, so now I've got a bit more gain. So I'm going to stay in my medium gain amp, and I'm going to start looking at my EQ now, but let's get some noise suppression on. So what I'm doing is I'm leaving, Jared Gunston did a video where he was doing an interactive noise suppression. But in these patches, I'm going to be trying to set my noise suppression up the same way you would using the NS2. So I'm putting one before the amp. Not doing the interactive thing, it's just set at 55 at the moment. We'll see how we get on with that. And I'm going to put another one after the amp. So that would be like in the send return. I'm going to put that there, set at about 50. Maybe 60. Okay, so now let's start looking at some EQ. So I've got some EQ that I was using before. I'm just going to drop that in. But I've given it a tweak since the video the other day. This isn't the same patch. So I'm just going to check what so this one's dealing with low end. So I'm just taking out 160 on a Q of 8 minus 6. And I'm taking out 250. Let's check that level. Before I do that, I'm just going to check what I've got going on here. Okay, so I'll bring up some lows here. So this one, I'm going to leave the level at 0. I'm looking at my monitoring in the room here. You can't see that, unfortunately. Now let's deal with some of the low mids. So what I'm doing here is giving the overall level a boost of 3, taking out 400 on a Q of 1 minus 2, and then 500 on a tighter Q of 4 minus 6. That's cleaned it up lovely. We might want more level still. We'll see what it's like when we get closer to a beat, but I'm just bringing up some levels. Now let's deal with the low cut and high cuts. Now each cabinet has got 2 notes cab M in my send returns, okay? So each send return is going out in mono to A 2 notes, there's 2 of them, and then the return brings back a mono signal of 1, which is a ribbon 121 on the top line and a 57 on the bottom line. And then we go out the main outs, okay? So let's stick these EQs on, and they're just doing ever so slightly different things. This one here, boosting the level by 1 at the moment, and at 2K, I've taken out, and this is on Q of 16 now, so tight slice, Q of 16 minus 6, 2K, and 4K. And then got the low cut 125 and 8K on the high cut. And on this side, got the same for the level there. 2K was an Fender again, but 3.15 on the 57 is what I took out with the same high low cut. Let's hear what that sounds like. So I feel like I can bump the level. Okay, nice, that's sounding nice. Let's go low gain. Let's give ourselves a bit of verb. Let's give ourselves a bit of compression. Just stuck on a clean boost in the form of a Plan Centaur. Let's take that off. I've still got the compression on and we're in a driven medium gain now. So, oh sorry, so low gain still, but I've got the gain up at 100. And I'm going to crank that sag. To 9. Just when I crank the gain there. When I come back down to 75, I've got the sag on 7. The sag also on 7 for the low gain, which is a low gain but with the gain here. Now what I might do is in another patch, and I'm just going to save my progress there. Turn off the compressor, turn off the wet. Next to this, I've got another one where I'm going to do the same process, starting off with turning all the blocks off, but I'm going to put the amps in with a designated. So there'll be one mic per amp, and I'll have 2 twins dialed in slightly differently, let's say. But then I'll also do a version where I stick a Vox cabinet on one side and dial in a Vox. Are you with me? And then try and work my stereo patches. But I need to build the template off what I've learned from doing the first patch. So let's just. So what I want to do is just very, very quickly, I'm not going to take too long over this. Let me just scroll out a little bit. I wonder if you can see there's an RC600 on the floor. So I'm just going to put a beat in. I just want to get a level. I think that might already be alright. Dial in the drives. That Klon's not too bad. I think we've got a tube screamer here. Les Paul, hopefully it's in tune. problem. Oh, maybe not. Let's put the tremolo there. Put the chorus in. Now, 2 notes do suggest putting your wets after the cabinet, so I might have to look at that. Okay, so I've still got some problems to sort out, but my initial template sounding quite good as a starting point, I think. So, yeah, I'm going to save that, and I'll see you in another video. Catch you soon. Bye.